Yeah.
Looks like
Machine
back
guns.
on the menu, boys.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8:01 a.m. now because we started with that little video. So just wanted to kind of set the tone for what today's going to be around. It's currently 74 degrees outside. We got a high of 97 again today, so be prepared. It's going to be warm out again, so be ready for that. It was a good, feels muggy out already, like it was a good run to the gym this morning and good run back, so it's really pretty nice out, but very humid. So be prepared for that. Traffic conditions going in Tulsa are pretty slow right now. So if you haven't left yet, you might consider going into Mingo or going maybe on 75. I don't know how it looks, but 169 is pretty slow. So with that being said, no real changes to the calendar event, so we're going to hop right into the primary subject today. Like we already saw that video we played. Machine guns look like they're back on the menu, boys. So I guess we were watching Tim Pool, and I guess there was a case that's that's ruling against the Supreme Court, saying that there is no legal justification for a ban on machine guns.
It's the Bruen decision, and the Bruen decision basically is a New York decision that was decided that, hey, you can't carry handguns in New York. Well, that was ruled unconstitutional by the Bruen decision, saying that the Constitution clearly states that you are allowed to carry firearms that shall not be infringed.
Yeah, shall not be infringed is the pretty clear part of it. You know, everyone always likes to go, like, I mean, heck, Joe Biden was the guy that said, you know, you can't own a cannon, man. That's not true. Like, a lot of people own cannons. In fact, most of the people that do those Civil War reenactments, a lot of those are not owned by, like, the... What do you call those places? The federal parks or the national parks that
Correct.
They don't own them. It's actually a private person who owns it and brings it there for an event that they're putting on. So think about that, folks. Like, I mean, you are legally allowed to own a cannon. Like, Biden is wrong. You're legally allowed to own a tank in this country. I mean, there was you might even try to look it up, but there was like a HOA that was trying to, you know, again, HOA is basically, it's communist adjacent, essentially, but an HOA, there was a man who lived in a neighborhood, and he had old, what do you call the tanks, from World War II? The Shermans.
Shermans, yeah.
He had an old Sherman tank that was sitting out on his, not in his driveway, but, you know, like in the street. And, like, you know, he just had it parked out in front of his house, and the HOA tried to get rid of it, you know, and there was some controversy. Like, he's like, it's my tank, you know, it's like, I'm allowed to own it. Like, the HOA is trying to, like, you can't own a tank in this neighborhood. And, you know, and they interviewed a lot of people on the street. No, and like, people would be like, no, that's awesome. That tank is so cool. Yeah. It's like, I can't believe he has it, you know, it's like.
Only an HOA, a bunch of Karens just basically running around telling you can't have that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what communism is a bunch of Karens telling you what you can't have.
Yes.
It should be called Karenism.
So, yeah, you had the ban, you know, said that one of the few policies that Reagan had that was not very good, the ban on assault weapons, you know, where you can't own a machine gun. So, I mean, that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. It's, you know, I mean, look, if the government can have it, why can't you have it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And, too, like, that's the other thing. A bunch of Republicans criticized Reagan for that gun control measure. I mean, that's how you know that Republicans aren't all just shills for their party, is they'll still criticize their leader if they make a bad decision or a decision that they disagree with regarding firearms, abortion, whatever it happens to be.
Absolutely. But, and again, it's like that little video we showed yesterday. In fact, you might try pulling that up again real quick. The one where it's talking about gun violence in America. We're actually We're actually 189th if you remove the 5 Democrat cities that have the most gun violence but are the most heavily regulated.
I'll try finding that again real quick, but you go
Yeah,
ahead.
but I mean, that's the truth. I mean, the truth of the matter is we are not that violent of a country. Now, do bad things happen? Look, with freedom comes the potentiality for bad things to happen. But bad things can happen anywhere, anytime. So you don't need to, like, it's like we license people to drive. Look, every time you get in your car, you're at a bigger risk anytime you get in your car that you're going to die than you are getting shot in this country. Like, people, the Democrats would have you believe that they tout this at the DNC. Like, they go, a kid's more likely to die by a gun than any other thing. It's like, no, it's not. It's actually drunk drivers and obesity, I think, are the things that are killing kids right now.
Yeah, I believe so. But I've got that video. I found that video.
Yeah. So play this again just to kind of prove the point.
Surprise, listen to this.
You want to hear a really wild stat, though?
Yeah.
We are at 193 countries, I believe we are number 3 in gun violence. Okay? But if you were to take the 5 cities where there is the most gun violence, Chicago, Philly, I think Houston, Chicago, Philly, Detroit.
St.
I
Louis.
don't know if it's LA, but I think
Guarantee
it
it,
is
just
LA.
sheer numbers.
Yep. LA. So it's all these cities. If you were to take out the cities and they all have the strictest gun controls. So it's St. Louis, Detroit, it's Chicago, it's Philadelphia, and I think it's Los Angeles. And they have the very, very tight gun laws. Keep in mind, they are blue, I'm just saying, but if you were to take them out of the equation, we would not be the 3rd, we would be the 189th.
Wow.
That's pretty significant.
I'm not even surprised. Listen to this.
And again,
Really
they would have you believe that it's mass shootings with AR-15s that are rampant all over the country. It's not. The primary statistic that leads to the U.S. being the most gun-heavy or gun-ridden city or country in the world, number 3, it's all the gun violence that takes place in Chicago, in Maryland, St. Louis, L.A. It's handgun violence is what it is. It's gangbangers shooting each other every weekend. I mean, like I said, Chicago has like 73 gun shootings every day.
Yeah, and remember, it's like that also that fake stat thing. It's called the schoolshooting.org or something like that.
Yeah, they count suicides in parking lots at 3 a.m.
Yeah, or accidental discharges, too. Anything that happens to be in or near a school, they count. Which
it could be in a church parking lot 3 miles away from a school, and they'd be like, oh, we'll count it. It's close enough to a school.
Yeah, and I think that they even found out that they
count,
include like police academies and
stuff.
Yeah,
police because the police academies account as a schoolhouse. So if there's an accidental discharge in a police academy, they will count that as a school shooting as well.
Yep.
So
Just because it has academy in the name doesn't mean it's a school for children.
Yeah, we're talking like police officers. I mean, there are accidental discharges on Army bases
regularly.
So yeah, it's just it is what it is. But again, it's really cool to see that, a lot of these judges are basically turning on going, yeah, there's no real legal or constitutional case to be made for why these are banned. It's just something that someone arbitrarily decided, yeah, people can't have this. Yeah. And, it's like now you just start asking questions. Why? Because they're dangerous. Cars are dangerous. It's like, yeah, but we license people to drive. Okay.
Yep.
Apparently not everyone. I mean, illegal immigrants have cars, and they drive around the states, too.
Yeah, which I'll pull up that video real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
But on this real quick, on the Bruins decision, it was a 6-3 decision issued in June of 2022. The Supreme Court ruled that the New York law was unconstitutional and that the ability to carry a pistol in public was constitutional right guaranteed by the Second Amendment. The court ruled that the states are allowed to enforce shall issue permitting, which applicants for carrying permits must satisfy certain objective criteria, which that's unconstitutional right there. That's the issue, is like shall issue. And 2, they pretty much, unless like there's like a direct threat on your life, they're not going to issue it. That's what everybody I've ever talked to from New York says. Like, you basically either have to be like a celebrity or like super wealthy person to be able to get one of these things.
Or you have to be a security personnel for a celebrity or somebody, somebody who's going through like an extensive training program. And even then, you're not allowed to use it for your personal use. You're only allowed to use it when you're on duty for your security detail. So like I said, if you got robbed as a security detail person, and you used your firearm, you would actually be in the wrong.
Yikes.
Think of how insane that is. It's like, well, he wasn't on duty when he got robbed, so he shouldn't have been able to use his rifle. That is a legitimate case that would be brought up against you in the state of New York. Crazy. So again, our gun laws make no sense.
Yep. And then speaking of handing out driver's license for whoever or whenever,
Yeah.
here's this video posted by Roseanne Barr, of all people.
Yeah, gotta love Roseanne.
The paperwork that they force ICE to fill out is to ask one question.
Who are you voting for?
No.
No.
Why did you come to America? And I gave you pictures of this. Why did you come to America? And all the people say, I came to get a job. And then they say, okay, if you're going to work in America, sign this piece of paper that says you promise to pay tax if you get a job. You know what our government does? Gives them a social security number.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
And a driver's license.
Then they say you got to go get a driver's license. When the people go into the driver's license bureau,
They get registered to vote? No?
they get a driver's license. They go, I need an ID. They hand them a social security card. The person automatically thinks and does not check if they're a real citizen. The government doesn't release the list of the people's names. They have merged motor voter. And what happens is that illegal literally gets a driver's license, automatically gets dropped into the voter file. And when the license shows up a week later, here comes the voter registration card. So the illegals come across the border.
So that would explain why we're seeing all these voters just appearing out of nowhere on the
This would explain those
registrations.
400,000 voters in Texas that just appeared overnight.
So we're talking massive voter fraud in the state of Texas, which is why people are now saying that it looks like Texas is purple.
Yes,
and
well,
possibly
Texas
flipping
has
blue.
been purple for a while, and like I said, you have all the outside money flooding in, like the Beto O'Rourke. Like, I mean, again, California funded Beto O'Rourke's campaign against Ted Cruz.
Can we talk about that? That is proof alone how evil the Democratic Party truly is. Is you have California and New York liberals getting involved in a Texas
Texas senator
election. That is crazy.
Let Texas take care of itself. Let the people of Texas vote. But what they're doing is they're putting a bunch of, what do you call it? They're putting all their money into the campaign ads for him. So outside money, and like, again, huge commercial budget level production being put into prop up. Again, he's not running anymore, but, Beto O'Rourke, I mean, he was huge. I mean, again, Ted Cruz never went on Jimmy Fallon. Ted Cruz never went on Jimmy Kimmel. Never went on, who else? Colbert. Beto O'Rourke went on all of those shows. Primetime TV. Ted Cruz was running a grassroots campaign, and he was the sitting guy. That's how desperate they are to get Republicans out of office. Outside money is going to come in and prop up horrible Democratic candidates. If you think that's fair and you think that's good, then one day you're going to wake up and realize you're not living the same place you were.
For all these Democratic pundits that are all like, we want to get money out of politics, that would be getting money out of politics right there. Why are New York and California liberals throwing money at a Texas Senate race? They're not Texans. They don't get to say what happens in Texas. Ridiculous. Beto O'Rourke is proof that the Democrats are corrupt to the core.
Yeah. Yep. Or at least the process is. So, yeah, it's scary. And again, Texas is a purple state now for that reason. And now it's really going to be a purple state because all these people are going to be like, well, who are you going to vote for? The guy that's threatening to kick you out or the guy that's promising to give you stuff? Kamala's saying, yeah, you can stay and we're going to give you. Again, California, Gavin Newsom just passed a bill, is trying to pass a bill where they are going to give illegals $150,000 grants and loans in order to buy houses. What is that about? So people who aren't from this country are getting taxpayer money, $150,000 of taxpayer money to buy homes in their state. If you're a Californian, you should be livid. I mean, you could a normal house here in Oklahoma that goes for like $250,000, $300,000. That's
double.
$1 million home in California.
Yeah.
What are they going to? I mean, what was 150? I mean, again, in California, really, what's that? How far is that $150,000 going to get them? Not very far. They'll get like a little shanty or a tin shack in California, but that's better than probably what a lot of these people are going to get anyway. Or they'll just take it and become renters.
100%.
So scary stuff, man. Scary stuff, and this is where the country's going.
Here's this next one I have pulled up for you. It's the
Bidenomics.
one.
Yeah, check it out.
World.
So, girls, what have we learned about grocery shopping?
I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to be adults. It takes me an hour worth of working, and I still can't even buy this. And it's 3 pieces of chicken. An hour of working doesn't buy me one thing of chicken at all. I'd be lucky if I got 2.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Welcome to the real world.
I bet you are, Kamala.
Again, this is the lady that's saying, if you elect me, I can fix all of the problems. She's in office. She's in power. She's second in command. She's probably first in command, to be honest with you, because we know Biden's not running the show. But again, it's the unelected bureaucrats that are actually running the show. It's the shadow state. The shadow government is running the show. Biden definitely wasn't for the last 4 years. Kamala, she's just his number 2. So, I mean, what's she actually going to do now? You know, maybe she'll come in and crap on the desk or something, but, you know, I mean, that's about the extent of it.
Yeah.
So.
No kidding. Well, next thing I have here is, I don't know, you tell me. You sent me all these ones. I've got this one here.
We can hold on to that for another day.
Okay, then I've got this one. I'm not even sure what it is.
Oh, these are more illegals coming into the country, flooding in. So.
Right. Bringing it up. Here we go.
The food, my kids cannot eat the food at the shelter. And they give us 2 months to stay at the shelter, and then you have to go out again with your luggages and the kids and find another place. It's very difficult.
In listening to everybody speak and making demands on New York City to do more, how much more are we supposed to do? This system is so overworked and overburdened. We don't have the resources that you need to get what you need. I mean, your testimonies move me tremendously. I don't want to see anybody mistreated in any sort of way. But I have to ask you, what motivated you to come here thinking the streets are paved with gold? They're not. They're absolutely not. And you're living through that.
You can thank Democrats for this.
But at the shelter, the food, my kids cannot eat the food.
Was that a reasonable person on a council in New York? Like, yeah, I mean, people are, again, this is China weaponizing TikTok against us, and they are giving these people routes to get to this country. Like, they're telling people in Africa, go to America. They're telling people in India. They're telling people in all South America. They're saying, go to America. They want you there. They need the jobs. I mean, which country was emptying their prisons and sending their people here?
It was Venezuela.
It was Venezuela.
And Bolivia, I think.
Yeah.
Not Bolivia, I'm sorry. What's the one? Brazil, I think.
So they're saying, yeah, they want you there. And you have all these people going, yeah, that we were told to come here. And then you have all these African immigrants complaining that it's cold and it's snowed. They've never seen the snow and they don't like it and they don't want to be there anymore. It's like, who tricked you into coming here? New York City doesn't have the infrastructure to take care of all those people. And you can do that one another day. So we can,
these?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
But yeah. And again, these people are coming in, they're getting driver's licenses, they're getting social security numbers, they're going to be allowed to vote. You know, a lot of people are going, no, they're not. Well, what was that Roseanne Barr story there? I mean, it's possible she's making it up, I guess.
Well, and that video that we had pulled up the other day of that organization that got confronted outside of a registration center where people were getting turned away, and then they're signing them up. It's like, why are you signing people up that just got turned away? That's their job, and you're doing their job for them, which means they're doing something
Yeah,
illegal.
where did those 400,000 voters come up overnight from Texas for. I mean, the population of Texas just didn't explode in one day over 400,000 voters.
Yeah, that's just shy of 500,000 people.
Yeah. So what's happening here? Explain it to me. So again, these people are going to be voting more rights to themselves, and they're going to vote to take away rights that are enshrined to us in the Constitution. They're going to vote away our firearms rights. They're going to vote away our tax dollars to stupid crap. Like, oh, we want more benefits. We want more benefits. It's like we cannot be a society of nothing but handouts. You got to earn it. You got to work hard.
Yeah. You have to at least do the bare minimum of taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And you can't do the bare minimum if you want to succeed or be successful. So, anywho, that's about all we've got for you today. We just wanted to kind of talk about how seems like it's turned around for guns in America. But again, it's like with all these new voters coming in, they're just going to vote those guns right back away from us. And especially at the Kamala Harris campaigns, because again, they want to stack the court with nothing but Democrats and be like, well, guns are something that we no longer need in this society. We're in a post-gun world.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, folks. It's crazy, and we're living in crazy times. And I certainly hope that somebody else gets in office by the name of Donald Trump and turns this thing around. But he's not the savior. He's not going to fix everything by himself. We have to be what's the word I'm looking for here? We have to be a responsible society. We have to be responsible at our local level, at the state level, and that should get up to the federal level. If we're responsible at our local level, we got to take care of ourselves in here in this local community, advocate for personal responsibility, advocate for small government, advocate for the church to become a bigger part, and what we say, charity. Like that's why church is charity.
Yep.
So have the charity take care of the local people who are struggling, not the government, and advocate that for that at a state level, and then that should feed up to the federal level.
You're here.
So yeah, we have to be personally responsible in our own lives. It's like what Jordan Peterson said. If you can't go around solving the world's problem, if you can't even make your own bed, if you can't fix and organize your own house or your own room, start small, then you can change the world. Okay? So that would be our takeaway for today. And the fact that machine guns are back on the menu, baby.
Yeah, they said the big thing about that too is like getting into it. Like you can't erase the foundations of your society and expect it to still be the same society, and that goes with guns. Guns have been around since the dawn of time.
Yeah, it's why Obama what he said was so corrupt and so pervasive. It's like he says he loves America, but he wants to fundamentally change America to its core. What does that mean? I mean, look, again, I think, who was it? Andrew Klavan or even Ben Shapiro talked about this. They go, imagine looking at your wife or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and you go, honey, I love you so much. You're perfect just the way you are, but I want to fundamentally change you. I want to fundamentally change everything about you. It's like, it kind of sounds like you don't actually love me. So thinking about that, that's food for thought for any of you who are watching the show and you're avid Obama lovers and you want to fundamentally change the country. It's like, it doesn't sound like you love the country if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. We're trying to grow this channel, trying to inform and keep the community aware, at least news-wise and also culture-wise. So everyone understands kind of what the cultural zeitgeist going around the world is. At least, and we give you our perspective on it. And hopefully it's a well-rounded perspective. Maybe it's not. Maybe we're nut jobs. I don't know. But that's about all we got for you today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we are signing off. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.